come with a clean slate, so to speak, to temporarily let it slip your mind what you know. Keep it outside the room so that you can what? Absorb more. There's always something more to build on what you know, to not know things, not become a consumer of knowledge, but rather a user, an implementer, to make it a part of you, to integrate it into your being, into your soul, into your heart. And when you do that, that's the difference that makes the difference, and why we use dynamic meditation. So step number one, principle number one, or shall I say pillar number one, is it's necessary, this skill, however you do it, through Silva Method or otherwise, it is necessary that we are able to what? Manage our energy. We are beings full of energy. It's measurable. And there are many different points of view about the energetic expression of human being, from the chakra levels to the voltage that's very slight in the body and the brain. But you know what I'm talking about. And as we move through life, stress has some value. Stress motivates us. Stress, when we're feeling challenged by something. But if it's not managed properly, if we don't manage our energy, those little things that irritate us, that bother us, that annoy us, if we don't manage it, deal with it, and wind up repressing it, it can become a disaster, because eventually the body gets flooded with stress hormones. And when that happens, we go into what? Survival mode. And the brain takes over, and it's hard to deal with that. And number one priority of the brain, as you may know, is survival, and then second, security. No growth, no progress. Back pain, very primitive part. And it's been said by countless people, researchers alike, that it's the number one reason why people are not manifesting or creating the life they want, why businesses are not succeeding in scaling up, why relationships maybe break up, why people are getting sick, ill, because they're weakening their immune system, because they're not managing their energy. If you just get this out of the Silva training, it's a godsend. We start on day number one building that. You'll learn the deep, long relaxation exercise. It's what Jose researched for 22 years. And you're going to learn not what's like online, not the condensed versions, not the whatever you want to call them, step by step, just like Mr. Silva experimented with thousands of people before he went public. We call it affectionately the Big Relax. It's a cornerstone. And then we build on that, simplify, because it's a 30-minute exercise. But then we practice all throughout the training. Day 1 and 2, about 30% in meditation exercises. Day 3 and 4, better than 65%. And you'll learn how to attune to that state of calm and relax and bliss, if you like, and flow more easily, more quickly, with things like the 3 fingers technique, the 3-to-1 method. We spend, remember, 4 days. I'm not here to teach you that. 4 days building that out. If that's all you get, you'll live longer. It's cheaper than your co-pays. Whatever it takes for you to learn this, it is necessary, because it's the little things that build up. Not just the big things. The big things, crises, we handle, work it out, we're in this together. But it's the little things that we ignore and we repress. Oh, what the heck? All throughout. Then, however, what we're really doing is exploring human potential. We're exploring, and you bring everything you need. No training, no thought leader. I don't care who they are, how great they are, and there's some really great people out there, will give you anything other than training, skills, pointing out to you, helping you to become more self-aware of who you are and your place, your place in the universe. And so I tell you that when you come to a Silva class, you bring everything you need. My job and the job of our team of instructors globally, all over the world, and we have a great team here in the U.S. I think they're the best, because these people have worked so hard. They review, they study, they research. We do training more than I know of anybody in the past. It's outstanding. And live in person is the way to go. Again, you'll notice and feel the difference from the book or any online training with that. So we're exploring human potential and the mind-body connection, and how our thoughts run our physiology. How our thoughts, I'm not talking about being positive thinking, but our mindset, our attitude, our values all play a part. And it's not the conscious, it's what's going on in the so-called subconscious, unconscious. And we've all been programmed and conditioned since birth throughout now. It's not going to go away like that. It's not a quick fix. Be advised. Do not let anybody kid you. It's not a quick fix, personal growth, spiritual growth, but it can be done, and you can accelerate it when you have the tools and you implement them. 5 to 15 minutes a day is necessary and will make the difference. You can do more, but you got to do something, obviously. So the second pillar is having clearly defined goals, knowing what you want. If you don't know what you want, how will you know when you get it? Too often people say, well, I want to be healthy. That's too wishy-washy. Be specific. How will you know you're healthy? What will you feel? How will you walk? How will you think? What will your doctor tell you? Oh, I want to be successful. Really? That's so vague. What is your measurement of success? Napoleon Hill once said, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So how does that relate to you? So this is about self-improvement, developing self-sufficiency. And you're going to develop a lot of creative visualization skills to do what some call mental rehearsal. A lot of work on how to recondition, how to fire and wire and create new neural patterns, so to speak, with that. To create new patterns that serve you and to recognize, to become consciously aware of what's holding you back. What are the patterns that we keep repeating and getting the same old results? If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting those results. So clearly define goals and that are in alignment with your values. We do a lot of this in our advanced work. I happen to do an official graduate advanced program. There are only 2. It's called Silva Mastery. It's what Mr. Silva, way back in 1984, asked me to travel the world. There are only 4 of us to bring. And I love doing that, working with people who've been through the training, and we build on that. But we even do this in the immersion event, somewhat. Then, once we're in alignment with goals, you know what to work on. You develop a whole host of techniques like Mirror of the Mind, the ultimate self-improvement technique. How to put your subconscious to work while you're sleeping with a glass of water. They did say that, while you're sleeping. And dream control. They're very cool exercises. Again, we're building on principles that have been around. Mr. Silva spent 22 years looking at ancient studies, wisdom schools, studying the Bible, studying all sorts of spiritual teachings, philosophers. Then he upgraded it to the brain science of the day, biofeedback, psychology, hypnosis, etc. And he looked for common denominators, and he put it together. He would be the first to say, my friends, I haven't done anything new here, but what is new is the way he organized and structured it, so you don't need to spend 20, 30 years. And if you've been reading the book, it's a great book, The Silva Mind Control Method by Jose Silva and Philip Mealy. And I just happen to have a copy here. Let me just get the copy for you. It's going to be reversed, so excuse me. But now it's been redone. Excellent. But the big challenge is, if you have a question, who do you ask? And if you have a question, even a simple question, if it's not asked, most people give up. They get confused. They go, I can't do it. That doesn't happen live in person. Plus you get, it's called deliberate practice. There's a lot of immediate feedback. The instructors like myself are watching you closely. This is why you're up front. Everybody's a VIP. You're not lost in the crowd with hundreds of thousands of people. And the instructor's interacting with you and helping you to understand what you're experiencing, what you're not experiencing, how to improve it, step by step. It's funny. Day number 1, it's kind of cool. People enjoy. Day number 2, everyone's a bit more relaxed. They had a better night's sleep. Some say better than they've had in a long time. But by the time we get to day 3 and 4, the energy in the room is so positive, so high, it's palpable. Why? Because people are in the zone, so to speak. They've had so much meditation and practice, and they've been playing with the tools, so they have a better understanding of, hey, this works for me. Which leads me to the 3rd pillar, very important pillar. You can see some of the photos. These are actual shots of Farmington. If you've never been to Farmington, Connecticut, it's like a postcard. It's beautiful. Everything's so close. People come from all over the world. I'm blessed to my classes, and they love being here. And I do too. I've been living here since 1980. So pillar number 3 is having the confidence that somehow, some way you'll figure things out. Some would call that changing limiting beliefs. I got to change my hands. My arm is getting a little sore there. Changing limiting beliefs. Well, it's really about getting feedback, applying something, getting results and saying, there's something to this. And this is especially true when we work with intuitions. All during the class, you're practicing with me or a certified instructor guiding you and then refining, okay, what worked, what didn't work. Again, it's not a quick fix. And then third pillar is that was the third. Second is clearly defined goals, align with your values. Third is having the confidence that you can figure things out. I jumped ahead. And the fourth pillar, very important, the icing on the cake, the ultimate part. Day number 3 and 4, 65% of the time, you're playing with games with intuition. And on day number 4, because this is what it's all about, using more of your mind and using it in a special manner, recognizing that you are not just a logical, rational being. You don't just have what's called the objective mode of consciousness. You have subjective faculties, non-physical faculties, sensing faculties, if you will. Some call it the sixth sense, ESP, intuition, whatever you want to call it. But we're all blessed. When Mr. Silva started, people didn't believe that. Now it's common knowledge. And you're going to have at least 12 experiences where you get immediate feedback. You're asked to intuit something, and then you're given feedback, yes or no. And sometimes you ace it, and sometimes you're off. Sometimes you really blow it. And sometimes I get, whoa, did I really do it? I think I did. And here's the point. We instructors then help you to compare and contrast. What's the difference that made the difference? And you begin to recognize patterns. And in day number 4, you have a 3-hour breakout session with me where you're practicing, we call it case working. And you're given an exercise with, not me, but with students. I coach you, tell everybody how to do it and set it up. And you're working with several partners throughout the day. And you're given an exercise to, we call it the laboratory dimension, the concept, with your counselors, again, another concept. And you're asked to put on your mental screen, in your thoughts, somebody you never met, and to come up with detailed information. Now, knock your socks off. It still knocks my socks off 54 years later, and doing this with hundreds of thousands of people for that. Because what knocks your socks off is we recognize, we feel just who we are and our place in the universe. And you are far more powerful than you realize. And you'll discover how much more power you have within you. I don't mean that in a controlling sense. I mean to create the life you deserve, the life you want. And when you have the skills and you use the skills, it's a lot easier. It just doesn't happen because you want it. You got to work at it. And like I said before, I'm not going to kid you. It's not always easy, but it's a lot easier when you have guidance, someone guiding you through as we do in the class. And that, my friends, is what I'm about to do for the next 4 days. However, it doesn't stop there, and something I am very proud of, and something I've instilled. All the instructors in the U.S., actually in the globe, have gone through an instructor training with me, just about. But right now, in these present years, I'm primarily training here in the USA, new instructors, mentoring and helping them. And it doesn't stop after the class. This isn't a take the money and run trick. We're in the community. We're since 1966, the Silva Method. I've been around, been there and back. I started before just about anybody else in the field. Even Bob Proctor, who was a famous Silva grad, Wayne Dyer, started after me. Even T. Harv Eker started, I could go on. Vision Lacchiani from Mind Valley. Louise Hay, remember her? What a wonderful, beautiful human being and the good work she did. She's one of our early graduates. It's fascinating how so many people have started with the Silva Method and built on it. And that's the point. Some, not these people necessarily, but I've seen so many programs come and go. They copy this, they copy that. We're still here with you, guiding. And when you finish the class, that's when the real fun begins. I offer to you, more than anybody else, a whole lot of additional support. It comes with the fee to get in. No extra charge, no extra fees, no upselling. It comes with it. And that is coaching with me, one-on-one, 30-minute call. And then I have a video, 90 minutes, and a 1-hour MP3 that over a period of weeks, I spoon feed you ways to review applications, how to use it. Because admittedly, we give a lot of information, a lot of tools. So it's going to take some time. And the first 90 days are vital. So I call it the 90-day support plan. I've also organized for you for every day of the week, we have graduate practice groups. On some days, there are 2 and 3 groups, and they meet virtually. You can participate, no charge. All of them, one of them, as many as you like. Where you're with like-minded people, that makes a difference when you're with like-minded people to practice, to openly share and discuss what you're feeling. We have a group that's a book club. They meet virtually, and I give a recommended reading list, and they one at a time read these books, and then they talk about it and apply it. You'll have as much support as you want. You're then eligible to participate in our graduate advanced programs. You can come back for your lifetime as a reviewer. It's great, not for the information, but to integrate it, to practice. It makes it, anyone who comes back to review, and you pay a small fraction, a seat charge, to get into the class, and they'll say, I got more out of it this time, because we're changing, we're growing, you hear it differently. You get the idea? And so on. Hey, thanks for listening. I know it went on. It's just going to be short and sweet, but I love doing this work. No matter how I'm feeling, no matter what's going on in my life, when I get rolling in this, I feel so passionate about it because it's made such a difference in the lives of people. There's a woman coming in tomorrow reviewing. She started, I think, about 2 years ago with me in person right here in Farmington. And she has a hearing, device, and then another special one. And she would ask me, and I did her a favor, would I please hold this device so that it would directly, like a microphone, transmit it to her. And she reviewed maybe half a dozen times, came to mastery. And in one of the reviews, I said, hey, you haven't given me the device that I'm supposed to hold. She said, I don't need it anymore. I make no promises. I'm not a doctor. But she doesn't need the freaking device anymore. Her hearing has improved. She's even, which I'm not thrilled about, been going to the casinos and been winning quite a bit. She's more than paid for, her fee. These are the kinds of stories I've been hearing my whole adult life with that. And I look forward to hearing from you. And one day, I hope you bless me with your presence at one of my trainings. Even if you had to fly here, it's worth it. You get so much more than we could possibly do virtually. So you guys have a great one. Thanks for listening. My name is Ken Coscia. For those of you who don't know, if you're not looking there, I'm the training director here in the U.S. I'm the senior most instructor. I'm the guy Jose picked in 1984. Such an honor that it was just me and him and 2 other people traveling the world doing advanced training. And you take care and have a great weekend.